Hi there, I'm Rachel, and today I'll be sharing with you my 3.5-year-old's preschool routine, preschool schedule. Now, I did make a video very similar to this, but it was quite a while ago, right around the time he turned 2. I shared what my taught school preschool schedule looked like and how I filled that in on a daily basis. But now he's a lot older, he's doing a lot more. I feel like he's like always surprising me with stuff that he knows that I had no idea he knew. So I want to share with you what we're doing on a daily basis right now. Now, if you're new to this channel and you love preschool, be sure to subscribe because I love preschool too. This is the notebook. It's just a blank page notebook that I draw out a little grid in. My sister painted this for me and gave it to me a couple Christmases ago. She is the one doing our illustrations for Where'd You Learn That? She's in college for an art degree. She is so ridiculously talented. But so I have an unusually pretty notebook for my schedule. And this is what it's looking like these days. There's 5 days here. That's just, I guess, how many fit. I wouldn't mind having more days on a page, but that's how many fit. And it works out because that's a week. I have at the beginning, top of each page, I have letter and songs, and I'll fill this in each week. I'm doing letter of the week right now, just mostly through songs. I use the Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres songs and the Sesame Street podcast video. I love classic Sesame Street. That's my childhood right there. We do like a couple songs and we build it with our building boards from Handwriting Without Tears. So I'll write in the letter. Songs, this is just the artist that I like to listen to in the morning. Usually I'll pick an artist for the week. So Fernando Ortega, Marta Gomez. I'll write down some artist or some album that we're listening to, and that's the songs that I play in the morning when I'm doing housework and the boys are playing independently. Then this is what we do for our day. And I do not plan any of this ahead of time. I don't write anything in here ahead of time. I just get out this notebook with our school stuff, and when we finish something, I'll just write what it is we did. So Bible, I have the Kenneth Taylor, the first Bible for kids, La Primera Biblia para Niños, I think is what it's called. It's a Spanish little kids Bible. We just read the next story, and maybe we'll read one page, maybe we'll read a couple pages. I really like this Spanish Bible because it's a lot shorter and simpler than the Jesus Storybook Bible in Spanish, so it's a little bit easier for very young kids. We'll read the stories as we go, and I'll just jot down what story it was. We just started this new Bible. We had recently finished reading through a storybook Bible in English, and now I wanted to read through one in Spanish. Then we'll do our memory cards time. So this is kind of like what we do first, and I'll read 2 storybooks at that same time. I should probably move the storybook section up to the top next time I make a new page. But we'll read 2 storybooks right after Bible, one in English and one in Spanish, and I'll just jot down what those are. And those won't be anything necessarily connected to anything. They're just storybooks from our collection. My boys love stories, so we do that at the same time as Bible. That's how we begin our routine. Then we'll do our memory cards and songs from Purely Preschool, which are our Spanish learning statements on science and health and safety. And then I'll do the memory cards that we're doing from the Gentle and Classical Preschool program. We've been doing that program for quite a while, and I've just decided to continue it alongside as kind of like our English memory work, and then that's our Spanish memory work. Then so some of those kind of go with songs, or I have a song that is part of Purely Preschool. So we do our songs and our memory cards all together at that time, after stories. Then we do Purely Preschool, which that has 2 books every day, and we'll do 1 activity. Puramente Preescolar is the Spanish version of Purely Preschool. It's available on my website. We are right now in the summer unit at the time I'm making this video. So next week will be the beaches lesson, and so we'll be working on the beaches lesson throughout the week, reading 2 books each day, the same 2 books each day, and doing like 1 activity each day from that unit. Then math, I am using Kate Snow's Preschool Math at Home. We worked through we're now on 1.3. The whole chapter 1 in her Preschool Math at Home is focused on basically counting to 5, but kind of different skills related to it. We're on the 3rd activity right now, counting on your fingers. So the motor skills involved in this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4, 5, all of that. So we'll be continuing with that. If you are interested in a more thorough look into Preschool Math at Home, let me know. I could make a video on it. Fine motor skills as are what we do in workbooks. And I have like a handful of different workbooks that we're working through, sticker books and so on. My son loves stickers. He loves cut and paste, so those are big highlights. He also loves tracing, but he's not a big fan of coloring. I think it's so funny and cute to find out what they like, but my rule is I pick out 3 workbooks to do every day. So I've got more than 3 in my various collection, but I'm on no time limit or pressure or anything to finish any of them. But I just get out 3. It's a good amount for us. They're all very, very simple, just little preschool books where he can trace or he can put on stickers or he can cut something out and glue it together. So then we just do 3, and I'll just jot down what they were working on. So if it was working on tracing or on a color or something else, near and far, whatever they are, I'll just kind of jot down what it was. We try to go outdoors every day. So all of this and the storybooks, that's what I would do during my morning preschool time, which when you see my daily rhythm video, you'll see where the preschool time falls. Then these 2 don't happen during that time. Outdoors, I always want to make sure that I take the kids outside every day. We're in lockdown, which can kind of make it less motivating to go outside because there's not really anywhere we can go. We can basically go for a walk on the street, and that's kind of it. But we can still do stuff. We can bring some toys out and dig in the grass on the shoulder of the road, or we can bring out his little bike and ride that. So we do try to do different things outdoors every day. And then in the afternoon, I do some kind of game or sensory play. So I'm not the biggest kid game person. Even when I was a kid, I didn't like kid games. I liked grown-up games like euchre or whatever. But now I'm learning. I'm on a journey. So I'll play Zingo, or I'll play Hungry Turtles, which I think is some kind of knockoff of Hungry Hippos, or whatever one of our little kids games that we have, or build a puzzle, or I'll put kinetic sand in their table and let them play with kinetic sand. And that's just like some kind of intentional activity that we do together in the afternoon. I do think games are super helpful for building skills like being able to take turns, being able to follow rules, being able to be calm when you lose or when it doesn't work out quite right the way you want it to. So I do see them as super valuable. They're just not necessarily my favorite thing to do. So that's our routine. And maybe the boxes make it look like a lot, but it doesn't feel like a lot throughout the day. It especially doesn't feel like a lot for a kid who really loves books. We do even more reading before bedtime. So it's been really nice. Having a couple characteristics like I do try to do, I'm going to do 2 storybooks. I'm not going to do a gigantic pile of storybooks, or we're going to just do 3 fine motor workbooks. Those kind of like having in my mind how many I do of something does help me throughout the day to not let me necessarily feel like it's dragging, and we're able to do things in different categories. But most of these are very, short and simple activities. We definitely spend by far the most time on reading with the Bible, 2 storybooks, and then also the 2 storybooks that are part of Puramente Preescolar. So basically 5 reading things, I guess, which still is not a lot, but I feel like that's definitely where we spend the most of our time. We do the songs. Workbooks are very short. The math activity is very short, but it all works together and it feels really nice. This is a routine that's been feeling really great for us right now, and I'm excited to continue it. So I just make like maybe a month's worth of pages at a time in this, and because I know over time as he grows it's going to change. As we finish something it's going to change, but I think we're going to be sticking with this probably around until he turns 4. We'll just stick with this, and then I don't know. We'll see if we keep sticking with it, or if we see maybe I'm going to add in Gentle and Classical Primer by around that time, if we're ready for a more intense morning time reading books. But this is what I'm feeling really good with for right now. All right, see you later.